All right, Marc Jackson, NBC Sports Philadelphia pre- and post-game live. It was a busy night last night. It all started before the draft when the Sixers were able to move Al Horford, and then during the draft they moved Josh Richardson, and everywhere in between they added pieces. Tyrese Maxey, a lot of people liked the pick. Some people were, not a great shooter. Other shooters were available. I like the fit. I mean, in terms of, he's not the greatest shooter. Does he have the ability to get there? We'll talk to Marc Jackson about how he can come in and help this team, if he can come in and help this team right away. You get a guy at 21. Do you think he comes in and plays right away? So there's a lot to dive into here, and we'll bring Marc Jackson in to do it as he joins us now on the Boardwalk Honda Hotline. And, Marc, let's start with what Daryl Morey did to start the day off. Before the draft even started, you guys were busy because Al Horford and his $80 million left on that deal on the move for Danny Green and Terrence Ferguson. What did you think of that move by Daryl Morey?
Hey, we started the day off right. The pieces didn't fit. We tried to go big. Him and Joel didn't mesh too well together. We needed a change. So they actually, to my opinion, they paid OKC to take him from us. So, with that being said, I thought they got better by unloading that contract as well as getting a shooter to match his ball club.
So, obviously, it didn't work out with Al Horford. They get Danny Green back and Ferguson, and really it gives them a lot of flexibility. So, in the end, I mean, do you even care about the return, or was it more the getting rid of Horford?
I think it's a good combination of both. We got a shooter in Danny Green, who's a champion, mind you say, who's a champion, 2 years straight champion, as well as 4 in his career, including North Carolina. I think for us, we got something back. We got some floor spacing, and let's not forget the young guy, Terrence Ferguson, who's only 22 years old, who's another wing perimeter with a high ceiling.
Do you think that it was as hard as maybe we thought it would to get rid of Al Horford's contract? Like, around the league, he's obviously a good player that just failed because of fit. So when it comes to moving on that contract, even though it is hefty, is it possible that maybe it wasn't as hard of a move as maybe we anticipated heading into the trade?
No, it was hard. It was hard. And why was it hard? It was hard because at his age and his ability to perform, his current skill and what he can give a ball club don't necessarily match his contract. And I think it was going to be hard to move it. So to me, I feel as though for us to not just move it, but to get something that can help the club, helps everyone at all.
So before we get to the actual draft picks, let's get your thoughts on moving Josh Richardson, because I know last year, Marc, we've had you on and you talked about when he was hurt that people didn't realize what he brought to this team. A wing defender, he did a little ball handling, wasn't the greatest shooter, maybe not the best shot creator, but what are they losing with Richardson, and do you like the move to swap Richardson out and what he brought to bring Curry in?
Yes, love the move. Richardson gives us a creator, somebody that can create his own shot, as well as a perimeter defender. He gives us that in a nutshell. But what we bring back with Seth Curry, we bring back another shooter, as well as somebody who can create his own shot. He's a little different from his brother. Yes, he's a three-point shooter, but he can't create a mid-range shot, and he has a little toughness to him. So we got that in return. Also, we was thinking, once again, with the haul we got back for Horford, I think they was going to get a lot of Josh Richardson a kind of ability as far as defensively from the young kid Terrence Ferguson. And I think that's why they didn't feel as though they gave up too much letting Richardson go.
Right. So that was something I brought up yesterday was you bring in Ferguson. I thought it made Richardson expendable on draft night, and they ended up doing that because Ferguson is your wing defender now that you valued Richardson for.
Absolutely. Agree 100%.
How do you think that adding these shooters impacts Ben Simmons? Because last year, he was unbelievable at these assists from three-pointers, and they could barely even shoot the three like they have now with Danny Green and Seth Curry. So opening up this floor, how much can this really even help Ben Simmons to an elite degree?
This helps Ben Simmons unbelievably. And I think the pieces fit in the offense. You know, you don't necessarily have – you can't say, well, you got Danny Green. No. You got Danny Green and Seth Curry. And you move Tobias, which I think is his most productive position, the power forward spot. I think it just opens the floor up for this team and makes the team faster and makes the team able to score a little bit easier. And it don't only help Ben Simmons. It helps Joel Embiid.
Marc Jackson, those were the trades last night. So Al Horford out, Josh Richardson out, Danny Green, Terrence Ferguson, Seth Curry in. Let's go to the draft picks. Tyrese Maxey on the board at 21. Some people were surprised. He's a guy, 14 points a game, 29% from three. So, of course, in today's day and age, Mark, everyone goes right to that three-point number and says, oh, man, they didn't get a shooter. So what do you think of Maxey and the fit on this roster?
I believe a big reason why Maxey slipped a little bit is because they didn't know what position he was. Is he a point guard? Is he a scoring guard? And I think that conversation kind of hurt him a little bit because it would be different if he was 6'7". He's only 6'3". And I think that's why if you're a combo guard and you're 6'6", 6'7", they're going to pick you high because the league is going position. But if you're only 6'3" and you're not really a point guard, I think now the league looks at that with a kind of a side eye of saying, well, how does he fit? Well, when you got Ben Simmons, you need a combo guard to play beside him, a.k.a. Shake Milton. So I think it's going to be they give this team options with combo guards and Shake and Maxey to play with Ben Simmons.
Right. I mean, I don't know how you feel about this, but Maxey almost feels like they hope he was what they anticipated Fultz being. Maybe not as, Fultz they hoped had been a better three-point shooter than he evidently was, but that he's the guy who can handle the ball, create a shot, not afraid to take the big shot either.
Exactly. You hit the nail right on the head. This is the kind of player they drafted Markelle Fultz to be. And people say, what is the perfect fit for this team? I always said a University of Washington Markelle Fultz. He was the perfect fit for the Ben Simmons team when he was at Washington.
Right.
Then when he got drafted and got hurt, and we don't know how that had happened, that changed the whole dynamic. That's what this team needed. That's what Maxey is. And I think with the floor spacing with Seth and Danny Green, I really think this team has really taken a transition upward instead of sideways.
Now, Maxey is a young kid. Do you see him coming right into the league and playing a starter, off the bench, contributing right away? How do you see him as a rookie?
I think he will come off the bench. I think I truly believe with Shake Milton. I really believe with Seth Curry. I really believe that if I'm looking at the lineup now, I'm going Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, and either Danny Green or Shake Milton. I think that's the lineup. I think Maxey will come off the bench and go from there.
Do you anticipate any more moves from Daryl Morey that might impact where the starting rotation is?
It's a great question. I look at what we have left as a ball club. Do we have enough to make a big splash? Do we have enough to give up for something for James Harden, as the rumors are going around, or Zach LaVine? I don't, and I'm just going on speculation.
Right.
For me, I truly don't believe that this team has enough assets remaining to get a James Harden unless you give up Ben or Joel, and I can't see that happening. So I think the only thing this team can do is try to hit the free agency hit. But what's out there that could fit and create a big splash to help the ball club more, I'm still looking at that.
A lot of people would wonder, all right, so they cleared out the cap space, but are they a better team today? Are they on the level of Milwaukee, Boston, Miami, or are they still stuck in the 4, 5, 6 range?
So I think a lot of things happened yesterday. I think Milwaukee getting reneged on on Bodan Bogdanovic, I think that kind of keeps them in the top 3, top 4. But I don't think just with Drew, I don't think that catapults Milwaukee as the best team in the East. Now, if they had kept Bogdan and Drew, to me they was a clear favorite to win the East, even if the Nets got Harden. I truly believe that. Now with Bogdan not being there, I think it kind of keeps the landscape kind of even. And that top 4 teams, meaning Toronto, I think is going to take a hit because I have a feeling they're going to lose the free agent guard. I think they're going to lose Serge Ibaka. I think they're going to take a hit. So if I'm looking at this ball club, this team now, I'm looking at Boston, Milwaukee, the Nets, and the Sixers as those top 4 teams.
Real quick, Marc Jackson's with us here. You know, Maxey got the 1 season in Kentucky, and obviously people get excited about the first-round pick. But you had Isaiah Joe, a three-pointer, and Paul Reed, another energy guy who, man, his numbers, and if you watch his film, holy moly, 142 block shots. Either one of those guys do you think helps out? Or are they too raw and too young to be able to contribute?
I believe that eventually in the next couple of years, both of those guys can contribute. But as of now, I don't think they're going to give this team. I don't think they're going to take minutes away from Matisse and Shake, and I just don't think that's going to happen.
All right, we will see where this team goes now with free agency about a half an hour from now. No, about 4 or 5 days. What's it? 24 hours? When free agents are like 3 days from now, something like that. It's crazy. And then we have camp opening in 2 weeks, and then the season in about a month from now. So it's all going to start happening pretty quick. It was a good night for the 76ers. Marc Jackson breaks it all down for us here on the Sports Bash. Mark, always a pleasure, pal. Take care.
Always. Looking forward to talking to you.
All right. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family as well.
You too.
All right. Marc Jackson, like all guests, appeared via the Boardwalk Honda hotline.